And I wanted to talk about how organizations can actually use this resource, right, to structure their own cybersecurity roles and teams. So, Leo, to kind of build on what you just said, tell me more about how you've actually used the NICE framework at JPMorgan Chase. And we will, of course, demo. Leo has built a pivot tool table that he personally uses himself to build out custom roles. But specifically on that topic, Leo, like when do you make the call whether you should use one of the existing 52 work roles in the framework or sort of build out your own?
I think you can play with it in a couple different ways. You can investigate numerous work roles together and see if they form the position that you have in mind. Or you can kind of do what I always refer to as the Amazon wish list effect, where you could consult with your subject matter experts, which you would do in either use case, and determine which competencies are most relevant, and then just explore the K and the S's that you want to have included into those work roles. So there's a lot of flexibility. The consultation process with your subject matter experts is extremely important. But if you're trying to develop the use cases and understanding whether or not it applies to you, being able to look at it from a combination of work roles or a combination of specific competencies that you find are interesting towards that work role that you're trying to define. It's a very streamlined process for kind of understanding what the framework can provide you. And for larger organizations like Chase, the framework is just one subset of a larger human capital taxonomy, because we do more than just cybersecurity, but the approach is attractive enough to try and push out through other technology roles as well as other roles within the company. Because at the end of the day, if you create roles that use a common taxonomy approach and you establish your baselines for proficiency expectations, you can begin gathering your employee input, and that allows for a lot of creative and interesting ways to deal with that data. One is, how do you create learning plans based on that data? Can you use it to express mobility options to your employees based on their profile? Those two things right there are extremely interesting to companies as they try and keep employees around and have them have second, third, and fourth careers within a company so that they can continue to develop and continue educating themselves. And then once you have those profiles established as well, as I previously mentioned, you can use that to start informing your learning strategy goals for particular roles or even an organization if you need to.
Okay, and Danielle, based off of what you've seen and the conversations you've had, are most organizations using one of the existing work roles? Like, tell me more, like how much customization are you seeing out there?
Um, so all anecdotal, of course, but I think I think most people try to start with the work roles as is, because again, that they're there, they're defined, they're the easy starting place. But I think as organizations start to really implement it, they'll start seeing gaps. Again, depending on size, scope, sector that they're in. Leo in the financial sector is going to see things differently from someone in energy, working with more operational technology needs and security. So I think as people use the existing ones as a start, when they're getting started and kind of figuring things out. And that's really what the framework is meant to be. It's meant to be that general reference and place to start figuring out how to talk about cybersecurity work, knowing that they'll need to be adjusted. I think in academia, specifically with formal education programs who are looking at the framework to align their curriculum to, I think that's where I've seen more of. I haven't seen much of those kinds of groups using custom roles. I've seen most of them, they'll take what's there and align their planning to what's already there, because it is so hard to plan depending on where your students are going to go. It's hard to plan for that customization. So having that kind of broader, more generic set is a better start for them.
New episodes of Cyberwork are available every Monday at 1 p.m. Central. And don't forget to claim your free month of Infosec skills. Sign up using the code CYBERWORK and you'll get unlimited access to hundreds of courses, hands-on labs, certification practice exams, skills assessments, and more. Use code CYBERWORK for Infosec skills.